Most people get this wrong when trying to start a company in Chile. They assume it is just paperwork and a quick online registration. But the truth is, one small mistake in the legal structure or tax registration can delay your business for months. Here's the truth no one tells you. Chile is actually one of the most foreigner-friendly business environments in Latin America, but only if you follow the system in the correct order. In this video, you are going to learn exactly how to start a company in Chile step by step, even if you have never done business in the country before. You will understand the legal structure, the registration process, taxes, bank setup, and the real-world steps foreigners actually use in 2026. And stay with me, because in a minute, I'll show you the exact company type that most foreign founders use in Chile to launch in under 2 weeks legally. Let's start from the beginning. If you want to start a company in Chile, the first thing you need to understand is that Chile does not treat business registration as a single action. It is a process made of several connected systems. Think of it like building a house. You cannot install electricity before you build the foundation. In Chile, the foundation is your legal company type. The most common and recommended structure for foreign entrepreneurs is called SPA, which stands for Sociedad por Acciones. This is basically a simplified corporation. And here's where it gets interesting. The SPA structure is flexible. It allows one owner, multiple owners, foreign shareholders, and even fast expansion later without rewriting everything. For example, imagine Alex from India wants to start a digital marketing agency in Santiago. He chooses in SPA because he can own 100% of the company without needing a local partner. This is a big advantage compared to many other countries. But here's the problem many beginners face. They choose the wrong structure because they don't understand tax implications. That mistake alone can create long-term legal and financial issues. Now let's move into the actual step-by-step process. The first real step is choosing and reserving your company name. In Chile, you do this through the Registro de Empresas y Sociedades, often called RES. This is an online system where you create and register your company legally. Here's what happens. You go to the portal, create an account, and submit your company name. The system checks if the name is available. If it is, you reserve it immediately. Now here's where it gets interesting. Unlike many countries where name approval takes days or weeks, Chile's system is often fast and digital. In many cases, it can be done in hours. But do not rush this step. Because your company name is tied to your legal identity, your tax filings, and your contracts. After the name is reserved, the next step is drafting your company constitution. This is basically your company's legal rulebook. It includes ownership structure, business activities, capital distribution, and management rules. Let's make this simple. Imagine John wants to open a tech startup in Chile with 2 partners. Their company constitution will clearly define who owns what percentage, who makes decisions, and how profits are shared. Without this document, nothing is legally valid. Now here's the part where most people fail. They use generic templates without understanding Chilean legal requirements. This can cause rejection or delays in registration. So the smarter approach is to ensure your constitution is aligned with Chilean commercial law. Most foreigners use a local lawyer or a digital incorporation platform for this step. Now once the constitution is ready, you officially sign it. And this is done digitally, or through a notary. Yes. Chile still uses notaries as part of the legal validation system. But the good news is, many processes are now hybrid or fully digital. After signing, your company is officially created in the legal system. But here's the catch. At this stage, you still cannot fully operate or issue invoices. And this is where the next major step comes in. You must register with the Chilean tax authority, which is called the Servicio de Impuestos Internos, or simply CI. The C registration gives you something extremely important called a RUT number. This is your tax identification number. Without it, your company does not exist in the eyes of the tax system. Let me give you a real example. Alex registers his SPA. He signs everything properly. But he forgets to activate his RUT with CI. As a result, he cannot issue invoices, cannot open a business bank account, and cannot legally receive payments. This is a mistake that happens more often than you think. Now here's where it gets interesting. The C process also defines your tax regime. This means how your company will be taxed, how often you file returns, and what type of accounting system you must use. For small foreign-owned businesses, Chile is generally favorable, but you still need proper accounting from day one. After tax registration, the next step is opening a business bank account. And this is where things become slightly more complex for foreigners. Most Chilean banks require your company to be fully registered, have a RUT, and in many cases, they prefer you to have a local representative. Let's be clear. It is possible for foreigners to open accounts, but it may take time. Some entrepreneurs initially use fintech solutions or international banking services while waiting for full approval. But here's the problem many founders do not anticipate. Without a local bank account, you may face limitations in contracts, payroll, and supplier payments. So the smart strategy is to prepare documentation early. Banks will usually ask for your company constitution, tax registration, identification documents, and proof of business activity. Now let's talk about something very important that most guides skip: hiring and employees in Chile. If you plan to hire staff, you must register as an employer with labor authorities. Chile has strict labor laws that protect employees, including mandatory benefits like social security contributions, health insurance, and pension funds. For example, if John hires a developer in Santiago, he cannot simply pay them as a freelancer if they are working full-time. He must register them properly and contribute to their social systems. Now here is where it gets interesting. Chile's labor system is very structured, which is good for stability but requires compliance discipline. Many startups fail not because of business ideas, but because they ignore payroll obligations. So always plan hiring carefully. Now let's move into costs and timeline, because this is what most people are really curious about. Starting a company in Chile is relatively affordable compared to Europe or North America. The basic incorporation itself can be low cost, especially if done digitally. However, legal support, translations, notary fees, and accounting setup can increase the total. Most foreigners should expect moderate setup costs depending on complexity and whether they use legal assistance. Time-wise, a simple SPA can be registered quite fast. In many cases, within a few days to a couple of weeks if documents are ready, and there are no issues. But here's the key insight. The delay is never just legal. It usually comes from incomplete documents or incorrect tax setup. Now let's talk about common mistakes. The first mistake is choosing the wrong company structure. Many people try to overcomplicate it with multiple entities when a simple SPA would work. The second mistake is delaying tax registration. Without SIFC activation, your company is incomplete. The third mistake is ignoring accounting from day one. Chile requires consistent reporting, and delays can create penalties. And the fourth mistake is not planning banking early. Many founders assume banking is instant. It is not. Now let's make this practical with a full example. Imagine Sarah from the US wants to open an online consulting business in Chile. She starts with an SPA. She registers her name through RES. She drafts a simple constitution with 100% ownership. She signs it digitally. Then she registers with SECI and obtains her RUT. Next, she contacts a bank with all her documents ready. While waiting for full banking approval, she starts working with international clients using her tax registration. Within a short time, she has a fully legal business operating in Chile. Now here's the final insight that most beginners miss. Chile is not just about registration. It is about structure and compliance discipline. Once your company is set up correctly, scaling becomes very smooth. But if you ignore early steps, you will face friction later. So think of the setup process as building long-term stability, not just paperwork. Let's quickly summarize everything. You start by choosing the right company structure, usually in SPA for flexibility. Then you register your company through the RES system. Next you draft and sign your legal constitution. After that, you register with C to get your tax identification number. Then you open a business bank account and ensure your financial system is ready. Finally, you comply with labor and tax obligations if you hire employees. If you follow this sequence correctly, starting a company in Chile becomes straightforward and predictable. And here's the big takeaway. Chile rewards entrepreneurs who follow structure, not shortcuts. The system is modern, digital, and efficient, but only if you respect the process. If you found this guide helpful, like the video, leave a comment with the country you want next, and subscribe for more step-by-step global business guides that make international company setup simple and clear.